health tech engineer from Metropolia. I also have a couple of businesses, and currently I'm a chairperson of METES Entrepreneurship Society. The first steps were from movies and TV. Like, entrepreneurs are these men with suits, and they have like this briefcase, and they do, you know, multi-million deals and drink whiskey and stuff. So that was the first idea of entrepreneur for me, and that was also the reason why I thought I'd never ever be one. Especially when I was younger, I had this mindset to, you know, make the world a better place, and I don't want to make money, I want to, you know, do something good. And then it started changing when I started my studies in health tech, and I realized that entrepreneurship is definitely not like that. You can actually decide what kind of entrepreneur you want to be. You can be an activist and entrepreneur, or you can just, you know, have a little side hustle where you sell, let's say, something that you make in a web store, and you can actually bring your own ideas into your company. And then I entered this Metropolia Turbini accelerator, where I learned about a lot about startups and lean entrepreneurship, and really got that fuel to get me going. The most I've learned is from following people that I look up to that are entrepreneurs, and trying to do something that they have done and learn on my own. I don't want to sound too naive, because I do want to make money. That's not a secret. I want to be successful, not only financially, but in a way that I could actually, my actions could affect things. So I can make an impact on, let's say, healthcare in the Nordics, or, you know, how we develop solutions for preventing diseases in the future. So I have this idea of myself working for my company, which makes a positive impact on healthcare, sustainability, nature, and people in general. I'd say the most common problem is finance, because you don't have that continuous paycheck every month. So, you know, you have to adapt to a lot of situations where you don't know what your budget is going to be next month. But that's something that you get used to and you learn to work with. So I wouldn't say that that's the major issue. However, I also run into a lot of, you know, opinions of young women entrepreneurs like me, and also when I work with companies that are much more established and bigger and better in ways, then I do feel belittled sometimes. But maybe that's not an issue either. It's more of, you know, you just want to show them, like, I can do this. But I mean, you do run into stuff like you have to learn accounting and more of that necessary stuff that's not easy, but it's important. I definitely did not have any contact with entrepreneurship when I studied nursing or before that. I didn't have any friends or relatives that had their own business. maybe that's why I had this image of entrepreneurship as this, big scary thing that I could never reach. And yeah, I'd say my boyfriend was an influence later on, because he actually dropped out of high school and started his own business at 17 that actually was pretty successful. I didn't know him at that time, but when we met later on, it had a very positive influence on me. Yeah, I do. Nursing, for example, and the healthcare field, a lot of ideas I have had in health tech business come from that time when I was working in a hospital, and also from my personal life when I run into some issues that I think could be fixed or should be fixed. I definitely do picture in my head a way of making it a business. One time, this person that I admire a lot and used to look up at her in a way that she's this cool woman, powerful and stuff. And we actually became friends, and she was really impressed by what I do. That was a proud moment. And also seeing your work and seeing it make an impact, that's something that's the most rewarding for me. And with ekayritys, we just had our first real bigger customer for the first time, because it's a very new company, so we were cheering, and it was fun. I'd say that I'm still waiting for those big moments where I'm I made it. Great question. I like I said, I had this idea of, entrepreneur is a white male, with suit, middle age, and I definitely see a shift in that. So, today we have these kids on social media, making millions, and we have these esports players as well. They are modern athletes / entrepreneurs, and we have a huge amount of startups that are founded by young women, and I don't see entrepreneurship at all the way I used to see it, and that's a very good thing. And also I think the general discussion about equality and diversity in entrepreneurship is very rich in a way. I think today I'm more maybe even appreciated in that scene as a young woman than maybe someone, middle-aged male would be. So it's going the right direction. I'd say one thing is thinking about your future in a way where, when you do a regular job in some regular place, you don't have to really think about it. You have to show up at that time and do your job and then go home. But as an entrepreneur, you really make your life decisions based on your work, I think so. And also you make business decisions thinking about your life, your future. So it's much more, they affect each other much more than, doing some job for someone. Well, ekayritys.fi is a platform where you can find the right professional for your project, whatever it is. You may be looking for someone to write your blog on your website or maybe do your website. So the idea is to write down your needs, and then the professionals can find you and send you their offers, and you can then select the best one and then just start working together. Currently I have one partner. We are at the very beginning, so we are just trying different stuff before going forward and making it a bigger business. So I have my very good friend with me doing it together. Well, it depends a lot. I've noticed that my project and business is kind of work in a cycle almost. So sometimes I work the whole day from morning to evening, and some days I'm like, am I forgetting something, or do I just have the day off? And so I'd say I work at least as much as normal amount of hours, like 38 something, but usually a little bit more. I think that you do work all the time, you think about it most of the time, but then again it could be a side hustle as well. You can use a few hours in a week to make profit, so it depends a lot on what you do. But generally I think entrepreneurs do more work because after you finish your shift in, let's say, supermarket, you go home, you don't think about the supermarket, and as an entrepreneur you do think about your business, and you try to develop yourself and make decisions not only for yourself but for the business as well. I started developing this taste sense blocking technology because I eat so much sugar, and it's actually affecting my health, and because it's a habit and it's something that gives me pleasure, I've struggled with making myself not eating sweets. So I thought, is it possible to develop something that makes me stop eating sugar? And I did some research and I met some people from Helsinki University, and they were in the middle of developing this technology that releases whatever substance you want to release in the mouth. And we found out that there is this one plant that actually blocks taste receptors on your tongue. So we started to collaborate and try, would it be possible to be made? But here's the thing with business and science and research and academics. We actually came into a disagreement with how the business should be run. And because, running a business shouldn't have like these social status or like academic pecking order. Working with an academic professor should not affect how you talk with them or what do you expect of them as a business partner. So we did have some communications issues, and currently it's on hold. So I'm looking for a new team that that is more on the same page with me about how business should be run. The end goal is, when we have these nicotine products in supermarkets, well, when it comes to food, now we have like candy bars and chocolate in the cash register. So you don't see cigarettes being sold with like huge advertisements everywhere, but sugar is sold in that way. So the end goal here is to offer like a relief or easy way to stop eating sugar, and then trying to learn out of that habit. So I would love to see this technology in some kind of product form that could be sold in supermarkets in the same way as nicotine patches or gums. So METES is Metropolia Entrepreneurship Society. It was founded last year, by the end of last year, so we are almost just 1 year old society, and our goal is to bring entrepreneurship, let's say, closer to students, so it could be seen as a viable career option when you graduate or even before that. Well, currently I'm a chairperson of METES. I'd say that my main responsibility is to develop a strategy together with my colleagues on how to meet our goals in the future. Currently we have a board of 5 people and we are electing the next board next week, so we'll see. We have had a lot of new members wanting to join the board, which is very inspiring. And I'd say that currently we have maybe 70-ish members in the society, so it is growing. So one of our main values is equality, and we want to welcome everyone into our society, no matter of what do you study, where are you even a student or whatever. We really do welcome all ideas and innovation. My values definitely are similar as in METES. All of us founding members did have the chance to bring their own values and ideas when we founded the society, so it does represent all of us. Currently all members are students, and that was mainly the goal this year, to really build a connection with the students in our school, in Metropolia, and in other schools as well in Finland. So that's the starting point here. Yes, so METES actually is doing a tight collaboration with 2 other ESS, Laura ES and Häyhä ES, and together we are this alliance of 3 ESS. So the goal is to actually get a broader audience of students that may consider entrepreneurship, and also our aim is to be self-funded in 3 years, so we have a lot of work to do. I'd say that personal one-on-one mentoring has been the most rewarding so far. So we had some people coming to us and actually asking what should I do next and how, and then after doing that they have been able to come back to us and say, hey, I really did this and it went well, and now I'm entering this next stage. Currently we have a very good situation where we are funded from Helsinki Innovation Fund together with these other ESS that I mentioned. So now we have the financial support to offer our services to students. So we have organized different events that are always free, not only for members but for everyone to come and learn and connect and ask questions. We are very lucky to have a financial support in this early stage, so that makes our job much more easier and also makes the growth much faster. That's what we want to be. So we really want to be the first thing that comes to mind when you even think about entrepreneurship, or you just want to ask someone how does it work, or we want to be that first contact. And for that reason we really want to present ourselves as open and friendly and enthusiastic to hear what you have to say. So yeah, I would say METES is very easy to approach. Yeah, that I would say, like, know where to find information, connect with people, socialize, and adapt to changes. Yes, I believe it's very much possible to get burned out or depressed, and it's even more likely because you don't have that, institution, workplace behind you. It's not anyone's job to take care of you as an entrepreneur. It's your job. So yeah, I think it's a problem actually, because if you don't have that safety net where you can take a week off and you know that things are being taken care of, then it's just, the pressure of just have to do it all by yourself. Yeah. That's something that, people don't think about when things are good. Maybe that's something that you should consider in the beginning when you start the company to, make that plan B. Because people do get tired. It's not a secret, and it's not something that you should be hiding or being ashamed of. It's something that you should talk about with your colleagues. What if, some of us get sick? It doesn't even have to be like mental. What if someone, breaks their skull and has to be in hospital or anything? That's something you should make a backup plan. That is a very important question. I personally, I haven't done great work in researching that for myself. So let's say if tomorrow I'm unable to do my work, I don't know what to do first. So let this be a lesson to others to actually, do that insurance for yourself. I do believe that in Finland you do have great, benefits and healthcare. If something happens, you can always seek help. And then we have like these entrepreneurship associations that you can seek help from. And there are possibilities. You just have to, research them yourself. And I haven't done a great job doing that. So yeah, it does. When you have a coolest, best idea in the whole world, you can, do something that will make the world a better place. It doesn't matter if, you are not capable of doing something with that idea. So you should have a track record of something that you can show to other people, to investors, to your possible colleagues or business partners. It doesn't have to be like MBA, or it doesn't have to be conventional education. You should record what you are capable of doing, what you have done in the past, and what are your strengths. I feel like it's one way of reassuring the people you are going to do business with of, that you are capable of doing something. And if you cannot put anything useful in your CV, that means maybe you have to learn a thing or two. Communication is one. I think expressing yourself to others and expressing your ideas and thoughts is very important, but also understanding others and listening to others, and have that sense of like game, when to talk, when to listen, when to do something. Well, marketing, it's actually very important no matter what you do, because you have to market yourself, your company, your ideas, and like I said before, I feel the mentality of accepting change and acknowledging that you have to make the best of it or adapt to it. It's very important, and just be eager to learn new stuff, because no one knows everything, and most of the time no one knows what they're doing either, and the only thing you can do is try to learn. So I'd say that it's not the biggest thing in the world. You can try. Probably you will fail a couple of times, but you will also learn, and you should try again. And failure is a part of entrepreneurship. I'd also say make a plan. So even if you are at the stage where you don't know if you want to be an entrepreneur, or you don't know if you have what it takes, you can still lay out a plan, and then you actually see a lot of things you have to work on or where to start. And that's not something that you can't do. It's easy. You just lay it all down and make a plan.